Warning, spoilies ahead.
Ooh, oh, he's going again. There he goes. Oh, oh. Beautiful.
That one's for free, folks, but next time you gotta pay for it.
Yeah, he doesn't do that very often.
Mm-hmm. Not since the accident.
That was a rare treat.
Yeah.
We don't have to talk about the accidents, okay?
Thank you.
This is Two Guys, One Film. 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 I'm Dylan. And I'm Dane.
Hi, welcome to Two Guys, One Film. I'm Dylan.
And I'm Dane.
And this week, for the viewer's choice, we watched Purple Rain, 1984, written by Albert Magnoli and William Blinn, and directed by Albert Magnoli. It's a movie about this up-and-coming band, The Kid, is what his name is, because he's never given a name to the movie.
Yeah,
he's just the kid. And it's battling it out with Morris Day.
And the time. He's the revolution.
He's the revolution, and he's trying to get more people to come in and get more money for the club.
Well, apparently this is a club that, like, if you've made it here, then there's a good chance you're probably going to become famous. Because, like, I guess famous people come out of this place.
And he, like, plays there all the time, you know, but, like...
And people obviously go to see him.
Yeah. But he's not pulling them in like he used to. The kid ain't got it. He's not pulling them in like he used to.
I don't know, man. I thought that show was pretty good. But
then
again, like...
First show was off to a great start. But anyway, battling it out. He's got a shitty dad and a shitty mom. And
like,
just still lives at home. And I don't know if he's 30 or if he's supposed to be 18. I have no idea how old the kid is supposed to be in this movie.
It's pretty ambiguous on, like, his age. Because I would assume that he was probably pretty young. But then it's like, oh, why like, with the dad slapping him around and stuff, it's just like... I don't know. I guess
it's, just don't think about it too much. And sit back. Enjoy the ride, folks, as we discuss Purple Rain. So they're playing, they're jamming it out to Prince, and we're introduced to the horrible lady who skips out on her cab, but yet she has money, and she almost seems like she's running away, because she also goes to that, like, hotel, and she's like, but they never explain that.
Well, later on, she just says that, oh, I came here to be, like, you know, to do...
like a star.
Like, yeah.
But, like, it looks like she's, like, running away and hiding from something. And I was like, what's going on? It's like, no, never explained again. She's just fucking weird, and she always wears this weird cape. It's the only thing she has. He's jamming on stage. She's trying to, you know, get in. She knows the manager, she says, but she doesn't.
She doesn't. And then those dudes start fighting, and so she, like, gets her foot slammed in the door and comes in.
Oh!
And I thought, how heavy is that door? Damn.
That's pretty heavy.
But her boots look pretty thin. Those don't look very substantial.
It's not a practical thing. It was just more of a cosmetic look.
Well, yeah, just
but you want practical boots. If you're trying to get into a club, you're going to want heavy boots, probably steel toe. That's just a lesson.
I mean, if you're going to try and do that, because they probably have a heavy door in the back so people can't just wander in like that, you know?
So get a heavy boot if you're looking to weasel your way into being a dancer/singer at the First Avenue Club. Yep. Prince has his own Prince bike. It's purple. It's got his logo on it. It felt very Batman to me, where he's like, I've got my own bike. It's got, like, cool stuff on it.
It made me think, like, did you have this shit when you were a kid? Like, that's why I wanted to know more about, like, I mean, I suppose I could look it up now, but, like, you know, for a movie like this, I kind of thought maybe they would go into it a little bit more, because I was like, well, I want to know more about his, like, backstory. Like,
I feel like it's mostly just the life of Prince in that time, where he's
like when he was, like, on his way to be,
where he's like, I've got my Prince mobile, I don't let anybody in my band do anything, I'm a control freak. And then, spoiler alert, that never changes in Prince's life. So,
Yeah.
but in this, he learns a lesson. I guess I don't know.
I
Sorry,
think it's
folks.
mostly
I gotta-
because he
I'm
doesn't
sick.
want to
I'm
not
not
be
going
in a
to
band
church.
anymore.
Yeah,
You know?
I'm the one that's in charge around here.
Which is kind of like, in some of this, I'm wondering to myself, Prince, are you like that much of a butthole, or are you just like, do you like when he was like sort of getting with what's her name? What was her name?
Yeah.
Apollonia or something.
Yeah,
I guess that's her real name though. She's
he's
like a
such
model
a
or something.
fucking dick
I know.
to everyone, and especially her.
I know.
And she's dumb enough to be like, huh, okay, we'll keep trying. I mean, she just wants to be famous, and she's like, this will do it. But then she like buys him a fucking guitar, so obviously she likes him. But he is an asshole to her the entirety of the movie. So like abusive physically and
Yeah, I know,
mentally.
and I'm just like, wow, dude.
And like he's just like I don't know. But the thing I want to talk about is the performance at the beginning. You know, and they're playing on stage. Mm-hmm. Two problems I have with it. It's actually every performance after this is the guitars aren't plugged into anything.
I know.
Like there's not even wireless on them. So like the jacks are completely nothing in them. So like even if they had wireless, you'd still have to. It's 84 or whatever.
Did they have? I'm sure they had wireless stuff back
They
then.
did, but like
It
you'd
was
still have to have
expensive.
it like in
Yeah,
the jack.
yeah.
There's
Even
not-
now.
Yeah.
Even now, with wireless stuff, you still have to have something plugged in. It's not going to
Yeah.
magically just.
So that was
I
my
noticed
problem
that
with
too.
and I was like-
I ignored it. I will say that.
But
I
you know, you
ignored
got to
it.
do spins if you want. You can't be wrapped in chords if you want to do spins. But nobody had it. Like the other guitar players, she didn't have it. But the mics were corded, which
Yeah.
and then he's shredding a solo and his scarf is all over those strings. I
Yeah.
was like, dude, that'd be muting that like none
Like,
other.
there's no way.
He did love his scarves though. I mean, when you're
Yeah.
in cold Minneapolis, definitely not Los Angeles because there was fucking palm trees and a very famous bridge over the LA River. Minneapolis, Minnesota, wherever it is.
Yeah, right.
They were cold. I have to have 4 scarves on.
I do kind of wonder. It's like, where did you get your gear? Where'd you pick that up?
Yeah. What you got? Where'd you get your bike from? Where'd you get all this stuff from?
Yeah,
Is
where'd
this
you get the
custom?
bike? Where'd you get where'd you get your clothes? Like,
Yeah.
how do you?
These are custom made.
Yeah, but who
I'm
made
going
that?
for the pirate look. I made it myself. My mom helped me make it.
Like, yeah, but your mom is like non-existent, like, and
Yeah.
weird.
My other favorite part, he's playing the song and like he's making everybody do this, like they're drying their hands off, and everybody's just doing it. And like I'm having a hard time believing like this guy doesn't bring people in. Everyone's fucking jamming to his music.
Seriously.
And, like, doing his hand movements. Like everyone's drying their fucking hands off. Like, all right, do this. We're like, yeah.
I know, and then like maybe one or two times when he performs, there's not a lot of people.
Well, it's like, you know, that could be a down night in a club. It can be a fucking
Yeah.
weekday. It could just, I mean, he wasn't having a good time. He was putting his heart out there, and the guy's like, "What I fucking tell you, man? Don't make it about you. Make it about the music."
Well, yeah, he's airing out his dirty laundry on stage. Well, I mean, this is a little bit later.
That's later.
But anyway, so he performs, and then we get Morris Day, you know, get the time up there, which is also, like, I like both.
Jungle Love.
I was cool hearing both. I was like, oh, hell yeah, Jungle.
Mm-hmm. And later on, you got a bird.
But what I don't understand, okay, so they kind of paint him as the villain, and in
He's
some
not, though.
ways in some ways he is, but then like Prince
Yeah.
is such a butthole. It's just like, which one
He's
of
doing
you
it
guys
to himself. So, like, I mean, they're both, like, the hungry musicians wanting everything like that. But, like, Morris Day is just, like, having a fucking fun time. He's like, man, fuck you. I'm better than you, man. He's like, man, fuck you.
yeah, but he also
man."
tries to get him like squeezed out of the club altogether.
That's true.
So it's like they're both like dickheads to each other.
Yeah.
Like both of them are just like and spoilies toward the end. Fucking Morris Day says some fucked up shit to him when he's
Yeah.
walking by his room.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's an instant regret right there. Like,
Yeah, exactly. He, like, stays back. And, like, I was hoping they'd do something more about that. But they don't.
I know. I was really hoping he was gonna be like, dude, I'm sorry,
I'm
that
sorry.
was fucked up.
Good luck tonight. And then just, like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the only one that seemed like he understood the assignment. I think is everybody took it too serious and they tried too hard and it came out bad. Like Apollonia, horrible acting, I'm a singer. Maybe he can use me. But, like, fucking Morris Day was having the time of his life. And, like, he's just, like, this fucking over-the-top guy. And, like,
Right,
him
the
and
dude,
Jerome,
like, holding
like...
the mirror and shit.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, oh, I gotta comb my hair before I get
And
in the
they
car. It's
had
sick.
such great fucking comedic moments. Like, Abbott and Costello style. Like, the whole password routine. It's like,
I know.
what's the password? Exactly. You got it. No, what is it? Exactly. And it goes on. And then it comes back later on. And it was just, like, the fucking comedic
good.
timing on those guys. Morris Day was the best part. Yeah, so then he plays, he gets down. What's her name? Knocks over a tray. So the blonde girl that's in love with the kid that he completely fucking ignores, even though she's in love with him for who he is.
Yeah.
She's like, all right, come here. We'll get you a job, lady. Because I'm a singer. Maybe he can use me. Oh, he'll use you already.
Oh, yeah.
And then Morris Day is like, stick around. I'll show you how it's done. And they play Jungle Love. Which will forever now remind me of Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Well, because they basically do that scene.
Yeah, they do the scene and they all do the
Or
same dance.
The sick
and
dance.
Like that. Yeah. Morris Day in the motherfucking time. Handed down from God herself. The problem I also have too is like a lot of movies do this. I mean, obviously because you need to hear, but like nobody gets clubs or rock like shows down. Because Prince is being like a weird creep behind her, like he's always like, oh, and he had his big glasses.
Yeah.
And she goes, I liked your show, like normal voice. Turns around and he's gone. He would not have been able to hear that. And everyone's just talking to each other normal volume.
Yeah,
like,
oh, hey, how's it going? It's
if
like,
you've never been to a show, people, you can't fucking hear shit.
No.
I could be
You don't
this close to you and yelling, and you're just gonna go, what?
Yeah, like I have to, like you literally have to yell in a person's ear. You have to be like,
Yeah.
like this close to their ear to hear 'em.
Yeah, and then yet they're like having a normal conversation while there's like fucking people and like a whole band
Yeah,
going off. Like,
she's rocking out to Morris Day, and he's standing there looking all like jealous about it, even though they're
they haven't
this
even
big
date.
old-
They haven't even started yet. These big old glasses.
yeah.
He's like a weird French vampire or some shit like that. I don't know what he's supposed to be, but
I don't know. He seems like I don't know. He seems like such a like spoiled turd. Like
yeah, for not being like rich and like I don't know. The Prince style in this movie is like he tries to be the sad little puppy dog baby, but also an asshole at the same time. He's like, I'm so sorry. I don't know what you did.
you're a bitch.
So he's like looking at people sideways, like,
I know.
I'm sorry, and then like punches somebody and go, I don't know. Oh,
I don't
I'm so
know, I'm
shy,
sorry.
even though.
I know. He's
Like
always
he's-
pulling that crap, and it's just kind of
Yeah.
like, because like when he slaps her, spoilies again.
Spoilies.
It like it's just so lame. It's just like, dude, you don't like it when your fucking dad does it, and then you just go and haul off over something stupid like fucking.
I'm gonna go dance with Morris, or I'm gonna go join his band, and he like
you're not paying any attention to her, and she fucking asked you for this shit.
And
you're
like-
too up your own ass to get like give a fuck, and then she goes and does something. You're like, nope.
And what I hate is like he doesn't like instantly say he's sorry, and like he doesn't learn the lesson in that time because he does it fucking again, and it's worse the second time because he takes her some fucking under the bridge train thing. Sorry, folks, we're jumping around on this. We
Yeah.
don't give a shit. And like continues to force himself on her because when she goes to cover up, he goes, And I was
Yeah.
like, nope, I don't like this.
Yeah,
at all.
mm.
Beats her again, and then he's like, I'm
Well,
so
no,
sorry.
he's like about to at this point, and he
Yeah,
just
and
doesn't.
well, he
He's
knocks
like,
her on the ground, and then he
Yeah.
has her. She's like, do it. So,
Yeah, and then he's like,
I can't.
I'm like, finally, you shouldn't have done it in the first. You shouldn't be fucking doing what you're doing, you creep. He's being
Maybe
like super
I'm just like my father. Get it? Because it's in the song.
too cold.
I do like there's that scene, like all the scenes with Morris and Jerome were awesome. Even when they're being complete fucking assholes, they were still like they understood the assignment. They're like, all right, kind of,
Yeah.
we're like supposed to be like villains or whatever, but also like doing our own thing.
Yeah,
And that like lady comes out, like yelling at Morris, and he just like has Jerome pick her up and just throw her in
Yeah.
a fucking dumpster, and then that's it.
Yep.
And like, okay, and then she
Very,
just gets
like-
up and is like,
very old school villain, like
yeah,
goofy shenanigan style stuff, and then you got Prince coming out.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, slapping people around.
Yeah.
like,
Fuck you.
like, dude.
And so then, okay, so his first real interaction with this girl is, I don't know, I guess she's at some convenient like store or something. I don't know if it's
like
at the
a
mall
weird
or across
mall.
the street. And he just like comes up and like steals her like ankle bracelet.
Or no, he goes like, "Oh, that. He just says, "Let
Give
me
me
have
that.
it." Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like
she's
a little kid. He's like, give me that. And then he takes it and he's like,
Then he just
here
walks
you
away with it.
go. Yeah. And like drops it back on the lake. And then they have a date. I don't know. And what a great date it was. Let's go drive around the lakes because that's all that's in town.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Oh, can I join your band? Yeah, sure, but you got to go through initiation first.
You gotta bathe in the waters of Minnetonka. And then lets her get pretty much completely naked instead of going like, whoa, 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 hey, not here. And
Like,
she just
and
does
only
it and he
tries
goes
to stop her when she's literally jumping.
midair. Oh, wait,
And like,
that's not the waters.
and then just gets on his bike and drives off.
But then comes back. I don't get it. I was like, dude.
Like,
And
you
just-
know, like, there's a way to mess around with somebody, and then, like, you're taking it too far, man. Like,
Yeah, dude, like you're cranking that up to 10, the asshole thing.
like,
immediately.
you're lucky
It's like,
she's not, like, calling the cops, like, 'cause it's, like, borderline, if not sexual assault, dude. Like,
And what's sad is like she just lets it happen. Like as mad as she gets at the end of it, she's just like, "Oh, he's still so adorable," because he's like, "I'm sorry, I'm a little puppy dog."
yeah, it's alright.
She's like, "Okay," and then he does that joke way too many times of like, she's getting on, he moves, gets on and moves.
yeah,
and I
I'm
was
like,
okay, come
please
on.
just, like, get on the bike already.
And like he's always so far away from her. Like she's like on the bank of that stream, and he's like God knows where, like all the way over there.
And he's like,
just,
and she has to come walking up this hill,
yeah.
like, drenched, like, trying to put like, clothes on.
fucking yeah, trying to put pleather back on when you're fucking wet. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh god. I can be mean to you if I act all shy. I'm fine. Doesn't matter. It's okay. I'm cute and adorable, so I could treat you like fucking garbage. Fuck you. A lot of this movie is repetitive, folks. I'm not gonna lie. I watched this last night, and looking at my notes, I go, I don't know what happened next, and I have stuff. on here.
They go on their date, and then he goes to he has another show,
Right.
and
Was this
she's
this is
gonna
one of the
go-
times where he like fucking storms off, right? Because like every show after this in the movie, he like immediately goes off stage and storms off.
Well,
and
this
plays-
one he does one song, and it gets everybody pissed because, well, okay, so they do their little thing at the fake
Mhm.
Minnetonka Lake, and then Morris, there's that little intro thing where Morris is like, "Hey, Jerome, that's when they do the what password
Yeah,
thing.
when you see her, we have to have a password because I'll probably have some other ladies around me, and I don't want them to get jealous. And like, it was so fucking funny. But yeah, that's then the password bit comes up. That's right.
Yeah, and then Morris is chilling with the ladies, and Jerome comes up after she comes in.
And goes,
They're
"What?"
sitting together, and he's
I
like,
love that. And he just goes, "What? What? What? That's the password." I love that.
"Oh,
Oh, and then he goes and has a drink with her, brings the champagne, and I love when he gives the lady the money and she walks off. He's like, "Keep the change," and then
Jerome,
Jerome's
get
like,
my
"Go
change."
get my change." Yeah, go get my change. for me.
And
Oh,
that's
but
when,
before,
Oh.
that's right. Sorry, before that, it's backstage. And it's Prince being an asshole to his band, especially
yeah.
the two girls that are like, we wrote a song and they have a fucking tape. And he just like sits there and he takes it. And then he has this little puppet like, "Why are you so angry all the time, asshole? What the fuck's wrong with you?" And then they like storm out.
yeah, they're like,
And he
"Dude,
talks
fuck
to
you,
the
you're just
puppet
weird."
with
Yeah.
himself. And he's a very good ventriloquist because
Like-
he doesn't even have his mouth open.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't tell if you're actually doing that or not.
understands you. Oh, Prince, you're the best.
I don't know. I think he puts that shit on, but then like if I'm looking at the movie like an actual movie and like it's supposed to be like, you know, him not being you know, a super stellar actor,
Yeah.
I would assume that he's supposed to be like kind of conflicted, and I think that maybe part of his like family life is fucking with him too. But
he never
I mean,
plays
like,
that much on it. you
no,
know, like,
and it's just that's what
he's
kind of it just they make him just come off as such a turd, and I don't know
The
if that
whole
was
time.
like part of the direction they were going, and maybe is he really like that in real life?
From the stories I've heard, yes. And like maybe there was no way for the writers to be like, okay, we can't really like have Prince act redeemable because he's not in real life, and we're fucking trying, and he is just not giving
He's just
it
a
to
turd.
us, So we'll just keep it going as a turd.
Yep.
Because yeah, like they never, other than like a couple of moments like at home, but like he there's never any redeemable parts about him through this entire movie. Mm-mm. Like even when he like changes his ways,
Because
like,
it doesn't even feel like he's like changing his ways.
He's just like put off by it. Anyway, that's the end. Sorry, folks.
Anyway, so he's sitting there. He does go out. He sees what's her name sitting with Morris, and that's when he starts. Right. Are you gonna be with me or him? And I'm on like, the stage and just like, yeah, you out there. And she's like,
she always cries. Like every fucking show he does, she's always crying. And I was just like, man, you want to be with this guy? You really want to be famous that badly?
And he's up there screaming at her.
I will say though, that was the coolest part of the song.
Yeah. When
he's like screaming, I was like, man, Prince should have done that more because it's like all this normal song. He's like, you know what? I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, dude, that's some cool screaming. Well, all right, Prince.
That's the thing about Prince. There's some cool songs that he does where he does shit like that, and it's cool. And then there's just, I think the popular songs are the ones that I don't really care for.
Yeah.
She's all over it. She's all about it. And
she or did she hate this one? Or no, because Morris was like pissed off on this one.
Yeah,
because she was like,
she straight up ignored him for that.
Yeah,
well, he's singing right to her. He has a whole band backing him up, and everybody is screaming at him. So hell yeah. And
does he storm off after that one?
He goes off stage, and she like meets him like. And that's
because was that the one where the manager's like, "What's this shit with one fucking song, dude? Like, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
No.
And he's like, too bad, I'm leaving.
Whatever, I'm getting on the Prince bike, the kid bike,
the Prince Mobile bike. Thing.
Yeah. The Bat Cycle. I mean, the Prince Cycle.
The Prince Cycle.
And so that's when I don't know. I feel bad because like he listens to that tape from his
well, he sort of listens to it, and then his parents
he like does like 5 seconds in, and then he like turns it off, and then he tries again and he turns it off, and then his parents are flipping out, and he pushes his dad or something. I don't know. That's a scene I couldn't hear because his dad was talking so quiet. He's like sitting. I was like, what? I didn't have enough time to want to rewind it and put subtitles on, so it's just like whatever. I don't care. Leave her alone, Dad.
From what I gather, his dad was a musician and was really good and wrote his own songs and also played, I think, where Prince plays.
Something like
because
that
guy does bring it up. Man, you're not doing what you're like. You're doing what your dad did. You're just writing shit that you want to hear. And no one wants to fucking hear it.
Yeah.
But what's stupid is like the stuff that Prince was writing, people seem to really want to hear. So it's like, what are you fucking talking about, dude?
Yeah. That's what. Yeah, that was a weird line when he says, "You're right. Like only you like your music." And I was like, it seemed like the people in the crowd really like it too. Maybe not the weird song where he's like, humping the fucking monitors.
Because that was like
I don't like that either.
That was his dirty laundry song, all crying about like fucking.
You left me even though I beat the shit out of you.
Yeah, it's like, dude, it's your fault.
Yeah.
Like fuck you, dude. I didn't like that one either. I thought he was being a bitch.
So then that's when she like is in the alleyway for way too long, waiting for him to leave.
And why is he upstairs? I thought the club was like a.
I don't know. He's like, I gotta go down the fire escape.
He's in the catwalk.
Yeah. And so they go, and he's like, we have to go to your place. She's like, that's not happening. He's like, well, we can't go to mine. And then he shows her why.
He's like, oh, why is there somebody there? She's like,
well, you always think there's somebody else. And it's like, well, that's a very healthy relationship, ma'am. That's a great red flag right there.
Yeah, you guys are starting it off real healthy.
Oh, well. And then, like, they go back, and he's like, letting her watch her dad, like, or his dad yell at her mom and shit. Welcome to the freak show. It's like, you could fucking help instead of just being like,
Yeah.
And then they proceed to go downstairs, light a bunch of candles, look at his weird porcelain dolls, and then have the weirdest fucking sex that takes way too long to get to. It's like, does he know how to kiss somebody? Like, that's the part where I was looking. I was like, did they hate each other so much on set that they're like, I'm not actually gonna kiss Prince because it's always just
Yeah.
like just mouths touching. It's not actually like kissing or anything like that. So I don't know. It's very awkward and weird.
Yeah.
But he had a lot of porcelain dolls, and I did not like that. That's very creepy. They have a good night, and then that's when he hits her, and she's like, "I'm gonna." Oh no! Okay, no. She pawns that bracelet. I forgot because Morris was like, "Come with me," and she's like, "Do you know any good pawn shops?" And he's like, "Oh, of course I do." And she pawns that fucking bracelet to get him. To get him that fucking guitar, and then he beats her immediately after that.
Yep.
Does this incredibly nice thing, gives him this guitar, and he's like, "Oh wow, thank you." And then she's like, "I'm gonna go play for Morris," and then just bam.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna go try out for his. He asked me if I wanted to, do a thing, so I was like, sure, and I'm gonna go try out.
Yeah.
Bam! Like,
Bam.
Wow, dude.
You fucking bitch.
She just bought you a guitar, dude. Like,
yeah.
The one you've been like drooling over apparently for a while.
You took her by it so you could really put that hint in there, like, oh, I really like this one.
Yeah.
I hope nobody notices that I really want this one.
Yeah, this guitar, this custom guitar that's obviously like my custom guitar in a shop.
I don't know why
already.
they put it behind the glass. I wish someone would buy it for me. Even though I have enough money for this fucking motorcycle. No big deal.
And my clothes, which are...
And his clothes, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I like, there's like the dude in the Revolution that's like dressed as a doctor the whole time. And then there's the drummer that's like another Prince. He's got like the frilly shirt too and the scarf. It's like, whoa, dude, only one of us could do that. And I'm surprised that the kid let him.
Right.
You copy my style.
Yeah, you can't be in the band anymore. You're out.
My collars are all the way to my ears. Your collars can only go to here if you wear your shirt. I get the big collars around here, not you. He's off on his spiritual road trip on the Prince cycle. And he comes home and like the door's open.
Oh yeah, everything's all scattered around. There's shit
and
broken.
He's looking for his dad, his mom, and there's like a part where he goes, he's in the kitchen like, "It's me, motherfucker!" And then he does this like beautiful spin and then stops.
Oh yeah.
And like, oh my god! And then like, I think is that when his dad
is like downstairs.
Oh, playing the piano. Yeah.
And it's actually like really nice. Like
yeah.
And his dad's a dickhead too, though. So you kind of get where because he goes like, "Oh, did you write that?" He's like, "Yeah."
Who else would?
He's like, "Yeah, who else would have done it?" And he's like, "Oh, did you write it down?" He's like, "No, it's all up here. I don't have to write shit down, unlike you." And you're just like, fucking "Good God, no wonder he's a fucking little shit."
Yeah. Yeah, and he just reciprocates the what he gets from his dad to everybody else. Doesn't make it right. Just because you act like a little baby doll afterwards.
Break the cycle, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, his dad's playing some piano. He's kind of bonding with his dad a little bit. Dad walks in the hallway and just puts his head against the wall. And then cut to the next show, and Prince has got his shirt off. He's fucking greased. He's lubed up. He's sexy. He's angry.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was an asshole, but yet she's the one in the wrong.
Yeah, because she left him. And now he's all pissy.
Yeah.
Well, I think he's still just pissy about Morris Day, And it's just like, dude, you not see what you fucking did? But again, I do what my dad does. I don't know. Like, I kind of feel like that's the that's the angle.
Yeah, and like you're spending all this time worrying about Morris's act. Worry about your own, and you end up stealing some of his moves anyway. Like your band all does like the same thing. I'm like, you're just stealing Morris's style.
I know. At the end, I was like, whoa, dude! Like you already had like dancing around like your way. Why'd you just steal his style?
Yeah, because everybody's watching me now. The manager is there, and the kid is playing his sad songs, and Morris comes in and he goes, "The kid's in rare form tonight." I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing.
I know. I was like,
it seemed like at beginning he was liking it, and then when he like goes over the top crybaby bitch about it, then he's like, all right.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I take back what I said.
Apollonia, like he's basically just like calling out Apollonia being a turd, like right on stage in front of all these people. I mean, it's not really a packed house that night either.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't like that performance much either.
I'm like, what the hell is this?
Nikki.
Yeah.
Nobody digs your music but you. Yeah, he goes like all off. He's screaming. He's up there pushing up, banging his fucking
he's
monitors, which
dry
there would be
humping the
so
monitors.
much fucking feedback because he's got the microphone
Yeah.
and he's right on top of that. That would be nothing but feedback.
Which would have been actually a lot cooler if they would have put that in the movie.
Yeah. And then everyone's like, oh, shit.
Like, because then I'd be like, man, he's really freaking out. He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
Or just left the mic in front of it, started just like fucking the thing, and just leave. Like, that'd have been cool.
Hump the monitor a few times and be like, peace, I'm out.
Peace.
Yeah.
And then so she storms out, as she should, because he's being a fucking asshole, as always. And then, like, he goes backstage and is, like, prancing around, like, pacing like crazy and, like, throwing shit around. And that's when the manager comes in, like, dude, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
No.
I like how he called him out
No.
on that shit because it was pretty lame that he just went
Yeah.
up there and did that.
Like, what the fuck were you doing? Don't air your shit out like that. And it's funny because, like, this is the part of the movie where I noticed that, like, in this universe of the movie, everybody notices Prince's shit and how shitty of a person he is. But in real life, everyone's like, oh, he was so great. He was just trouble, but Prince was great. It's like, no, Prince was a piece of shit. From all stories I've heard about Prince, how he was in that movie is how he was in real life, and even worse outside of that.
Right.
Because the whole thing with Carmen Electra was like he would not let her go out unless he picked her outfit. He knew where she was going and like who she was going with. He was like super controlling of that. And the girls in the band in the movie were actually in the Revolution, and like I guess that interaction of like writing songs and shit, exactly how it happened in real life.
Like, I could see it.
So like it's just so sad that this movie everyone sees his shit, and then in real life they're like, Prince is a god, yeah.
Like, you can, okay, well, I think it kind of, like, comes back to you can enjoy the art, but you don't have to love the artist.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, yeah,
But
not...
he's a better songwriter. Like I'll give him that. He fucking writes good songs. I
Yes,
don't
he
like
does.
the songs that he performs necessarily, but the songs that he has written for other people, bangers.
They're good. They are. They really are good.
And I mean, he's good at guitar. I'll give him that. But then once he starts singing, it's going. It's kind of like Anthrax. Love the music. I wish I could get into Anthrax, but once that dude starts singing, I go, I'm out. Done.
Kind of it's the same way with Pantera.
Yeah. It's like once the vocals start, I go, nope.
Like,
Done.
there are a few songs I can sort of deal with, but it is one of those bands I'm just like, man, because the riffs come in, they're heavy, and you're like, hell yeah, man.
yeah.
And then Phil starts screaming, you're like,
Yeah. Oh, no. What did you say?
I'm probably going to get some hate for that one. But,
Are you talking to me? What did you
No
say?
way. Walk on home.
And then Morris walks by, and then his guy was like, "Hey, you should come to the show tomorrow. You should check it out. You sure bring a girlfriend."
Yeah.
And it's Apollonia 6, but there's only 3 of them. I didn't understand that.
They should have been called Apollonia 6 divided by 2.
They're like, oh, ew, it's Apollonia 6, and then there's 3 of them on the stage.
Their song was awful. The performance was awful. I hated
It's just
it.
a striptease. It's just they got in
Basically.
their underwear, and like it's so bad that dudes are literally handing them money like it is a
Yeah.
strip show. But hey, sex sells.
Yeah.
Sex sells what? But like it's an awful song, awful
Yeah.
dancing, just all around awful
It
thing.
just comes off as very goofy and
Yeah. And then he's pissed about that for some reason other than she's like,
just in like a.
it's very if I can't have her, nobody can. So like he storms out, song's done, and then her and Morris are like drunk walking to his car, and then she's like, "Is Jerome here?" He's like, "I gave him the night off." It's like, "What for?" And like when he backs up and he's like, "Ah," and he starts like doing the weird like pelvic dancing.
Yeah.
And then the kid on the Prince cycle
Comes rolling
comes riding
by.
out of the fog.
He kicks him over, I guess.
Yeah, like right into the fucking garbage too. I was like, man, fuck that.
You know, and now that I'm remembering that, it's just like, dude, like, God, Prince is a
And he
turd.
basically kidnaps her because like
Yeah.
she runs away. And he goes like and corners her and he goes like hop on. And she's like, no. And he's like, just do it. And then she
Yeah.
does it.
Yeah.
It's like, and he drives her to a scary fucking location of like a train tracks underneath a bridge on the
Yeah.
other side of fucking
And
town
then, like-
where no one can hear you scream if he murders you.
And then, like, creep just acts like a creep,
Yeah.
you know? But
It's like, I don't know if he's trying to take control back of her or something like that, but like...
That's what it sort of seems like. Because, again,
Yeah.
like, he does that whole, like, throwing her to the ground and he's about to hit her. And then he kind of, like, backs off like he realizes, wow, dude, I'm totally acting like my dad here. Like, wow, it's sinking in a little bit.
Oh, after the second time you did it, it's sinking in? Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, but then, like, it's not like it really sinks in because he's still a fucking turd.
Yeah. I don't know. And then, yeah, he goes home, and that's when his dad's once again standing in the hallway. But he's got a gun in his hand.
And he's like, what are you doing with that? And then apparently shoots himself.
Gunshot. You don't know who shoots who at first. And then the police show up, and it's him, and they got paper towels wrapped around his head because he's going to be fine.
Yeah, it's like,
He's going to be A-okay.
how did he not kill himself?
He just went, whoops, and then just kind
Yeah.
of grazed it.
That's the only thing I could think of. Like, somehow he's lucky.
I think it would have been better if he actually did.
I do too.
I feel like that would have made a bigger impact towards the kid, and maybe he would have been like, that's going to happen to me if I continue being a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe if he would have died, it'd have been a little bit better for him. And the whole, like, thing at the end would have been a little bit better. But,
Maybe.
spoiler alert, dad doesn't die.
Yeah.
And, like, this is the only cool shot of the movie. The only thing I really liked was, like, he's sitting on the couch. There's, like, the police around him, and they, like, get into this spot. And there's, like, this crazy synth playing, weird noise. No audio, and they're, like, talking to him, giving him questions. And, like, that scene was cool.
Yeah.
Because then they get up and leave, and it was, like, fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I was
they
like,
just
cool.
get up, they leave him there, and he's just, like, freaked out. And
Yeah.
why the hell did they trace him?
They don't do that. I don't think...
I know, like, I don't understand the whole tracing thing. Where did that come
Especially
from?
the gun, too. They, like,
Yeah.
trace the gun, and, like... I don't know.
Like,
if there's
yeah,
a-
that's gonna freak somebody out. They have to sit there and look at that crap.
If there's a police officer that watches this, or a detective of any kind, do they actually chalk outline people? And would it be in this situation where a guy attempts to suicide but survives? What's the policy on chalk outlines, or is that only a thing in the movies?
Yeah. Not
Let
that
us
I've been,
know
like,
in the
walking
comments
around and
below.
looking for crime scenes with chalk outlines.
Yeah. But I do like that scene, though, because he's, like, you know, looking at that, realizing that could be me. Has that weird thing where he looks at the fucking rope, and then looks up at the stairs and just hanging there. I was like, oh, shit, whoa.
I know.
And then very poorly breaks all the preserves that they have jarred up and slamming stuff. And he's, like, doing this little hopping around while he's slamming things. Like, I was like, what the fuck is the hopping around? But I mean, he does that hopping around on the stage later, so I guess that's really the only way he knows how to move around. You know, it's just those little.
That's just his thing. What's great about that whole moment, where he's hopping around and doing the whole, like,
Oh yeah.
I so thought that Weird Al was just putting it on, and that's almost verbatim what he does, and I'm like, he's just doing what Prince did, like, literally. Oh my
I was like,
god!
oh, I thought he was.
I thought he was like,
hamming it up.
yeah,
you
I thought he
know?
was like kind of poking fun at him, but he's not. It's just
He's just
that.
doing exactly what Prince was doing. I was like,
Sorry,
oh,
kind
Weird
of
Al.
had to throw that off of there because
No, it's good, that's good.
Like, instantly when I saw that, I was like, Weird Al, and I'm like, he wasn't fucking around.
He wasn't doing a cartoony version of it. He was just doing the real fucking thing.
He was doing the real Prince.
He's Prince and hard.
Yeah. He's busting stuff up, and he breaks that, like, chest or whatever,
Yeah.
like a.
And then
he
he, like,
finds
starts
this-
throwing all the fucking papers around in it, which turn out to be sheet music, which good luck getting those back together in the right order. It's not like they're
Right.
fucking numbered or anything.
And it turns out his dad wrote a bunch of music. Actually did write it down and throw it in a little box.
Fucking liar. Just like you, kid. You're a fucking liar, too.
Yeah, and an asshole. Like, both you guys are just assholes.
Yeah.
But then he starts putting stuff together. He must steal one of his dad's songs or something.
I think so, because that's also when he starts actually listening to those girls' song that they wrote.
Mm-hmm.
And then he starts, playing the piano with it, which he doesn't play the piano later on when they actually play the song, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But he's coming up with the idea of Purple Rain, whatever that means. I just wanted to see you out having fun in the purple rain. I don't know why it's purple. But for some reason, this time, the time opens for the revolution?
Yeah.
No. Other way around. Biggest act always closes. Why the fuck was the time opening on this one?
Right.
If the kid was not like bringing in him like he used to, why the fuck would you make him close and headline?
Right.
No. The time would be headline.
Well, we got to give him that one last chance.
What they should have done is the revolution plays, fucking nails it on that song, and then the time goes, how the fuck are we going to follow that?
Right.
Crowd starts chanting for more of the revolution. They kick the time off the stage. That's his big moment. That's how it should have gone down.
Right.
Not like, oh, the time's opening up for you guys. No universe is that happening. No.
Not after that weird shit that he pulled.
Yeah, not after fucking around on the monitors. Jesus Christ, dude. So the time plays a fucking dope song about a bird dance.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing the bird, fucking happy, upbeat, fun dance, and then they follow it up with a fucking ballad.
I know.
No. I don't care how good this ballad is, and everyone's like, oh, I'm touched by it. You fucking bringing the mood down, brother. You're just like, you went from like up here dancing. You have dance songs. I know you do, but you're having this personal moment. Like, dedicate a song to my dad. But you bring their mood down, man.
But also, like, he's... Also, it was written by these guys, so that's another
He's
thing.
so put off about having to give those girls credit. It's so
I know.
funny. He's like, this song is dedicated to my dad. And it's written by two of the girls in the band over here.
I know, it's
and
like, dude...
He's lucky that they've been practicing that song because he just fucking threw that on them. And they're like, oh, okay, I'm glad we all know how to play this song, at least the drummer and the keyboarder. Okay. Oh, and he added vocals to it. Cool, thanks for telling us. Not just like, we're not ready for this song, only her and I have been practicing it. But
yeah, but they do the backup vocals.
Yeah, everyone, it's like that Walk Hard thing all over again where it's like everyone knows the song. But... that's when, before they go on, that's when Morris walks by and he says those fucked up things. And he, like, has that moment. I really wish they would have done more with that because that would have been really fucking good. Where he just stops in the hall after everybody walks by and he, like, looks over and he's just, like you said, just, like, instant regret. And I wish they would have done more with that because that would have been fucking cool. That would have been good character development for both of them.
Right.
Because, Morris has been this goofy guy.
It was for him, but then they kind of cut it short. And it's just... But I mean, I guess it's the end of the movie. They're trying to scoop it up real quick, and
it's not about Morris. It's about the kid. Even though I wish it was, they should have just had a time movie. Yeah, he's up there, and he seems, so put out by it was written by these girls.
Yeah,
I have to give him the credit because I'm finally trying to play fair, and everybody's like, oh.
Well, and that's what sucks is he doesn't seem genuine about it. Like even though he's like doing something for somebody else, it just doesn't feel like he still is. Like it just feels like he's being like.
And like,
if I want to be famous, I gotta play along, I guess, a little bit.
He's like such a turd to them about wanting to play it. There's that part where he shows up to practice and those two girls are playing. He's like, "What's this?" And he's like, "I ain't gonna play your fucking song." And she's, what I liked about that was her, and they're jamming, and then they see that he walks up, and so she like does a Prince riff. She's like, "Oh, is that better?" And I was like, "Ooh, nice." Ooh. So like. The whole movie he's a dick, and now suddenly he's turned around and going like, oh, they wrote it.
But they kind of look at him like, okay.
There is a part where they're playing and doing like a solo, and he goes over there and he kisses her on the cheek, and her reaction was like a genuine like, oh, what are you doing? Like, did not want that.
I wonder if like that was a scripted kiss or he just went over and did that.
And her face was like, no. He dedicates that song to his dad. But then there's like the verse is like, I didn't want to be your weekend lover. I didn't want to steal you from another. I'm like, is this still about your dad? Or is
Yeah.
this about Apollonia at this point? Because it's kind of weird to be like, hey, Dad, I didn't want to be your weekend lover. It's like,
Yeah, I didn't want to steal you.
because like part of it, it's like, yeah, that could apply to his dad. It's just like a general, like,
Yeah.
he didn't want to be this, blah, blah, blah. But then it's like a weekend lover thing. I was like, okay, now it's made about this girl.
Yeah.
That's weird. That's not about your dad.
Maybe it's just the song itself dedicated
Yeah.
to him. It's not like about him and his dad.
I'm going to dedicate this song to my dad. It's about me banging another lady and being real sorry that she's gone.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to watch her dance in Purple Rain. But Dad, this one goes out to you. I love
Take
you.
it from the top, guys.
Pop up, I love you. I suddenly love you now.
Yeah.
Because you almost died, and then I was like, you're like me. I'm like you. Whoa.
Whoa, man.
So then they play that song. Everyone's moved in the audience. You got the manager going like, the club manager like, yeah, he's fucking made it.
Yeah,
Yeah, and everyone's just like, yeah. And even Morris is enjoying it, I think, or that's later on when he's playing the other song.
Yeah.
But like, everyone's loving it. Song ends. He immediately, once again, runs off stage, goes out in the alley, having this little like, and it's like, dude,
Well,
what
because I think he thinks people are going to hate it. 'Cause
yeah,
it's
and
not like his song. It's like, dude, you're such a... See, and that right there is another example of him being a little turd.
yep.
You know,
Oh,
and then
they're gonna hate it.
everybody likes it, and he's like, yeah,
I wrote that actually.
and he runs back out there and does one of his
And
songs.
it was such a dick thing. That blonde girl that obviously loves the kid. She runs out to the alley where he's like freaking out, and the door's open, so he starts hearing everybody, and he turns around. She's crying, and she goes, "Hi," and he goes, "Hey," and then just walks by, and she's
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
"Fuck me, right? Okay, cool."
Oh
What
my
a
god.
dick squeezer! Like that's the
I
girl.
know.
Like
I know.
for some reason loves you for who you are. You don't have to fucking throw her off of a motor, off the Prince cycle.
Yeah.
She could have just been with you like that. But
No.
so all is forgiven. He played a beautiful song. Everyone's like, we love him. We love the
Like,
kid.
wow. Give us some
And then-
more.
The rest of the movie is just 2 more full Prince songs. Back to back.
Yep.
You think it's done. You think the credits are going to roll after one song, and then it
No,
goes into
you get another Prince song.
Yep.
And it's, again, they're not bad, but it's just like, okay.
But while the songs are playing, he's also like cleaning up the basement. He's like filing his dad's stuff. He finds that her earring that she had thrown in him earlier. I don't know why he had it in there, and he throws it. And you find out she's on the stairs. They're back together because she awkwardly kissed him in the hall when he's going back to the stage, and she's crying again. It's a fucking healthy relationship, and they're back together. There's other shows. And they're ripping off Morris Day. And then he pulls out a guitar that shoots sperms. And then he whips to the camera, freeze frame, end of movie.
Just like on his face. Boom. And it's all like glowing.
Yep. And that's it. That's how the movie ends.
Yep.
It's just a Prince concert. That's what this movie could have been. It just could have been a Prince live show.
Which
The same
I
fucking
might
thing.
have actually enjoyed a little bit more because it would
It
just
might have
been a
been.
show.
Yeah.
Although it would have been cool to see like the time open up for him or something.
Yeah, and that's it could have added more to that change in Morris, because like him and like drummer in the audience like enjoying that song
Yeah.
when it's like a different concert. They're like fucking having fun too. Like there could have been that like camaraderie back between them when he like just fucking apologized, and like he wanted to. They should have done that, and it'd have been cool. Because now it only looks like he likes him now that he's successful. When he
Well,
was
it
just
sucks
like, "Dude,
because
I'm
like
sorry."
I feel like there was plenty of time throughout this whole movie for redemption, like from
cut
Prince.
3 songs and you have plenty of fucking time.
Like he could have made himself actually look really good with this movie.
Yeah.
But
And what's
it's-
weird is like he didn't write it,
yeah.
which I was like, there's a lot about him in this, and he put a lot of himself in this, but yeah, he didn't write it.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's like uncredited thing where he's like, we should change it and be like this. I should be more of an asshole, and it's like, oh, that's gonna be a stretch. Are you sure you can act that way? This might be hard for you.
Yeah, I don't know, buddy.
Yeah. So, But yeah, all neatly wrapped up. All is forgiven. He wrote a beautiful song. He's back on top. No more beating women for now until later on when he gets a little PO'd again. And that's all I can remember of that movie.
That's basically it. It ends, and then he goes on to have his Prince career. Maybe
Yeah.
that's when he becomes Prince. I don't know.
Maybe
He's still the
yeah,
kid
he
at that point.
He started as a kid, now he's Prince, and then he's going to become the artist formerly known as Prince.
So what does
I
that
think
mean, though? So his
I don't-
name
'cause-
wasn't Prince anymore. It was formerly Prince. Is what happened?
Because he was going by that symbol.
Oh,
And so
yeah.
then like everyone's like, well, how the fuck do I pronounce that? That's just a symbol. And he's like, well, he's just the artist formerly known as Prince. Well, that's being still known as Prince because you're artist formerly known as Prince.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man.
And then he just went back to being Prince.
Because like nobody understands.
I mean, because it's
No,
stupid.
we don't. we
It's
don't
stupid.
fucking understand.
That's dumb.
I'm not gonna call you by a symbol.
Like, how do we call you that? Like, is there a
Yeah.
name for it? Make up a name for it. But then that
Yeah.
kind of defeats the purpose of being the artist formerly known as Prince. Why don't you just be Prince? Or
Prince
just don't
again.
have a name. That guy.
Yeah.
The kid. You can be the kid.
The guy.
The guy.
The guy.
You're already Prince. It's too late.
Yeah, you can't undo it, dude. You can't reinvent yourself. You're
Yeah,
not
you
David
can't-
Bowie. Keep trying, brother.
Well, I mean, he was Prince for too long. You know,
That's the thing.
if Bowie would have done Ziggy Stardust for too long, he just would have been Ziggy Stardust.
but
He knew when to
what
call
he
it
was
quits.
doing. He knew what he was doing. That's why
Mhm.
Bowie's Bowie and Prince is Prince.
Yep. Forever Prince.
Forever Prince. Forever Prince. He'll be known as Forever Prince. Do you want to listen to Prince? No, I don't really want to. Ladies and gentlemen, if you were out there riding around on your Prince cycle and you're bored of the things you're listening to and you're like, hey, I wish there was more nerdy things that I could listen to and an accessible website full of nerdy things that I could listen to on the Prince cycle, there is a place.
There is. There is. Let me tell you. It's called projectnerd.com. That's project-nerd.com. And there, you're going to find all that stuff that Dylan was talking about. You can listen to that when you're rolling around in your Prince cycle through the wilderness, and somehow you're not destroying the suspension when you do all those jumps. Pretty cool.
Pretty cool. Go to project-nerd.com, go throw some rocks in some lakes. I guarantee you're going to have a good time.
Prince in Purple Rain. Okay, so this movie, like, I like it, but, like, Prince is such a turd. Like, God. Like, it sucks because, like, there's, like, parts of it where he could be redeemable, but when you know who he is, like, on the outside of, like, even the movie, I think he kind of becomes one of those artists that you don't really like, and you just kind of enjoy his art. Like, as far as that kind of goes, like, that's kind of how it is for me. As far as Morris Day goes, the time is fucking sick. And so, what else to say about this movie? I mean, it's a movie about Prince being a turd. And then, like, when it comes time to fucking, like, man up and act nice, like be really cool about stuff, he still acts like a weird, spoiled, like, I'm the greatest there ever was, so sorry you have to listen to this garbage that these guys wrote. It just comes off like that. So I'm gonna give this movie 7.5 Morris Days.
Ooh. All right. Yeah, this movie. It's just like you said, it's Prince being Prince. There are some cool songs. I like some of the songs, not all of the songs that Prince does. The Kid. Morris Day is probably the best part of this movie, the greatest part of this movie. He was the only one that was acting, in a proper way. Other than that, I can't say much more than Dane said. Prince is a turd. He's a wiener, dick squeezer. He's a crybaby butthole, and he is not redeemable, and he never does get that way. And yet, we are to believe that he does. Having said that, I don't know. Movie's middle of the road for me. I'm gonna give it 5 Prince cycles. Just even 5 Prince cycles for me. it's a movie. That's
It's.
all I'm
I
saying.
think this is probably this is so far the lowest score we've given this season.
I think it's just hard because like this movie tried so hard to be something else, and it could have been if
Well, yeah, that's
if
the thing
Prince
is
just didn't act like that. If they just didn't make it Prince.
seriously like it. It sucks because it's like here's a movie where you've got again nobody else was fucking acting. It sucks because like there's
It's
it
so
just
bad.
like it could have been like hey like look at all these people like it's like just Prince like wedged into a movie if that makes
Yeah.
sense like there's no like hey like this is like it's hard to describe because he's just gonna act the way he wants to be.
And it's not like it could have been a movie about like the dangers of trying to become famous, the of you know, be careful about who you associate yourself with, about how you want to go about being famous, like what lines are you willing to cross? Like all that is in there.
Yeah.
All of that
And
could
like
be in
how
there.
like taxing it can be on you mentally and stuff.
Yeah,
Like
but it's just they never come across that way because A, they're bad actors, and B, they just spend too much time on other dumb bullshit.
well, yeah. The weird like there's drama and
Yeah.
there would have already been drama
Yeah.
if it would have been more like realistic.
Yeah.
Does that make
I
sense?
don't
Because
know.
it feels like it's just like all playing to Prince. I
Yeah,
mean the
it's
kid.
just pandering to Prince.
Yeah.
Prince pandering.
Yeah.
And like this girl, I'm sorry, super dumb and just keeps going back to the kid even though he's the biggest piece of shit and she's an idiot. But I mean, she's probably written by men, so that's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a dangerous world being in music if you really want it that bad. And I'd like to say during that time, but it's probably still like that nowadays.
Well, I mean, this guy and I know. It's
We know.
it's not super easy, but if you're good at
Yeah.
it can be really, really fun.
It can be fun. You don't have to be a butthole about
No.
it. You can. The best part about writing music with people is the collaboration.
Yeah.
And like when somebody writes a song, you're like, "Fuck yeah, let's do it," or "Let's add to it." Like,
But
let's make
you
it.
know, honestly, I
our
could
song.
not be. I couldn't function like him because
Yeah.
I relied so much on you. I still like. Sorry, folks. When we still write music together, I do heavily rely on this guy. Yes, I do some
Yeah.
solo stuff. Yes, he does some solo stuff. But when
It's
we're
better
together,
when you're with
and then
It's
when we
magic.
include Ryan, my goodness, watch out, guys.
it's fucking
Yeah.
magic when it's the three of us. And it's just like I don't know. I don't understand artists that are like so involved in themselves and being like, I'm the writer, I do this, I'm the best part, fuck you guys, even though they're carrying the
It's a-
entire weight of this fucking band.
It's a bummer because sometimes the songs are friggin' good,
Yeah.
and it's just like, man, why do you got to be such a turd? These are fucking awesome songs.
Yeah. Like there's some really good ones in there. I was like, God damn it, dude. So I don't know. If you want to check out Purple Rain, go ahead. You might like it. If
I mean,
you do,
it's
I'm
it's.
sorry.
I would say that it's definitely like a part of history. It's like a history
Yeah, it's
sort
like
of.
it's
Because like a lot
it's
of people
in-
know about Purple Rain, I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of people seen it, so
Prince is a big deal.
yeah.
Is I don't know
Yeah,
how you want to
yeah.
classify that, but for me, wasn't for me, and that's okay. And that's what this show is about.
Yeah,
But
but that was cool because I hadn't seen this in a really long time. I didn't
I hadn't
remember
seen
a whole
it
lot,
ever, so this is my first time.
and it was cool to. I will admit that it was cool. I love going through these like movies, even if I have
Yeah.
seen them. It's fun to go back and like watch them, and I'm not, and I
It's
don't want.
a fresh pair of eyes.
And even though I think we've been dogging on this one a little bit, I
Yeah.
would like the viewers to know I still had fun watching it, and
It's still
I'm
fun.
not dogging on the like the person. Thank you.
Yeah, John. Thank you, John. Even though when I talked to you today, you were just like, "It's a bad movie." But,
Well,
yeah, it's not a. I don't want to come off as that shitty butthole, folks. It's fun to dig into this movie and give it, a 1-2. But
I mean,
at the end of the day, it was fun talking about it. It was
you
fun
know
watching
us.
it and
We
making fun of
we
it.
we find some fun, cool stuff in it, and we find some lame crap in it. I mean, it's not even like even okay. We didn't do it the last movie, but we do usually find something that we like joke around about or find kind of stupid or
Yeah.
Jesus.
That was the
Oh,
Pat Garrett one.
Jesus.
Oh,
Ah, Jesus. But you guys
So-
have seen that.
Yeah, at this point you've seen that. But yeah, it's that was Purple Rain.
Yep.
And now I have grown as an adult because I've seen Purple Rain.
Yep.
Yeah. For two guys, one film. I'm Dylan.
And I'm Dane.
And now we're gonna do some pouty Prince faces before the credits start.
He does a lot of just like stare and just.
You know what we need to do? We need to do a turnaround freeze frame, and I'll do a freeze frame. So just get a turnaround.
I don't know if I have enough space.
We'll count on 3.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.